Let's look at a rational function and answering and solving a problem when we're dealing with a rational function. In this example, we have a cost-benefit function C that computes the cost in millions of dollars to implement a new city recycling project aimed at getting X% of its citizens to participate, where the function is defined as C of X equals 2X all over 100 minus X, where X is between 0 and 100. Remember, X is the percentage, so that makes sense that the percentage will be between 0 and 100. Let's find C of 90 and interpret the results. So C of 90 means we're plugging 90 in for the input. The input is X, so we put 90 in wherever we see X, and we calculate. So we get 2 times 90 over 100 minus 90. So calculating the numerator, we get 180. And the denominator would be 10. So C of 90, as I finish the calculation, ends up being 18. Interpreting that means writing it out in words. Think about what the first value, the 90, represents. X is the participation in terms of the percentage of citizens that participate, X% of its citizens. So 90% of citizens participate. When, well, what has happened here? What's the output? The output is the cost in millions to implement the recycling project. So 90% of the citizens participate when the city spends $18 million to implement the project. Probably a lot of that has to do with educating the public and promotions in terms of getting people to participate. That's just my guess. Part B, if the city has $8 million to spend, what participation rate can be expected? So now it's asking me what the participation rate is. Remember, the participation rate's the percentage rate, so that would be X. Can we get when the city spends 8 million? 8 million, the amount spent, is the cost. That's the output of the function. So I would want to take the function and set it equal to 8. So the output, the entire function equals 8. Now 8 is just a whole number, so you can think about it as over 1 and then set the cross products here to clear fractions. So I'm going to get 2x times 1, or just 2x, equals 8 times 100 minus x. That means I have 2x equals 800 minus 8x. Adding the 8x to both sides, we get 10x equals 800. And then solving for x by dividing out the 10, we get x equals 80. So what that's saying is that when the city spends 8 million, and we should always write our answer in a sentence to word problems, then the participation rate will be 80%. That's the answer we found. So there we have working with a function and either evaluating or solving when we're dealing with a function that has fractions.